While searching for information, do you keep finding lawyers who are just selling their services instead of answering your questions? With 24 years of experience, I'm familiar with the frustrations you may have while making an injury claim through an auto insurance company. I do my best to actually answer your questions in these videos and in my free book. I am Arizona native and attorney Kevin Fine, and in this video I discuss some issues involving concussions. The movie Concussion explores an issue that has become familiar to all of us: traumatic brain injury suffered by professional football players. Of course, playing football is not the only way to sustain a TBI or its harsh effects. Anytime the brain hits the inside of the skull with sufficient force to cause the brain cells to lose blood flow, a brain injury and cognitive changes can result. This force does not have to be very high, just enough to cause a bruise. A head does not have to strike anything. The brain just needs an impact with the inside of the skull. Auto collisions often cause traumatic brain injuries. In fact, they are the second leading cause. Falling is number one. Most medical providers, especially in the emergency room settings, seem well aware of this possibility and generally take care to screen for TBI, treat it, and document its consequences on an injured driver or passenger. The cognitive losses resulting from a TBI can be the most devastating injury from a collision, yet also the hardest to see or prove. Within a couple of years of starting my legal career, I visited with a mother of 4 young children. A year had already passed since the collision she was in, but she had not been able to resolve the matter with the insurance company, so she was in my office for help. As I spoke with her, I learned that she had hit her head on the driver's window during the impact, but that a CT scan had not shown any damage to her brain, so there had not been any follow-up care for TBI. But she was clearly experiencing cognitive losses from the impact. For example, she could no longer do math to balance her checkbook, and she was a math major. I asked her to go back to her family doctor to report any cognitive losses she had experienced since the collision. That doctor sent her to a neuropsychologist for testing. The test showed that she had certainly lost cognitive function, giving her the assurance that she was not imagining these changes and helping her show more accurately what had happened to her because of the collision. Neuropsychologists and neurologists are often confused with each other outside the medical community. Neuropsychologists are usually PhD-level psychologists with training emphasizing the relationship between the brain and behavior. Neuropsychologists are trained to apply certain extensive testing procedures that can, with surprising reliability, detect whether a person has had a shift in their cognitive abilities, which can happen from a TBI, even if there's no damage visible on a diagnostic test like an MRI, CT scan, or PET scan. Neurologists, on the other hand, are medical doctors or osteopathic doctors and are the professionals who, for example, would read the results of a brain CT scan and do the surgery if necessary. Both specialists may be involved in diagnosing and treating TBI. Medical procedures or training or retraining exercises can sometimes restore some or all of the function, sometimes not. Cognitive losses reported by our clients sometimes manifest themselves in disturbing ways. A college student working a shift as a server suddenly could not remember why she was standing in the middle of a restaurant. A young lady studying to be a teacher could no longer remember written materials without 4 or 5 times more repetitions than before. A West Point graduate and war veteran turned business professor could no longer develop curriculum plans as he had done for years. Ultimately, modern medicine can fix a blown-out knee much easier than a damaged brain, and the doctors could do little for these losses. I hope we continue to get better at preventing such losses and treating them anywhere they arise. I answer more of your questions in my other videos, articles on my firm's website, and in my free book. Because your situation will be different in significant ways, the general information presented here may not be right for your matter and is not legal advice. If you wish to talk to me more about your concerns specifically, I do offer a free consultation. You can set that up for a visit, or you can order the free book through the contact information on the banner below. Thank you.